Hello everyone, in the current session we will be discussing about dilatant flow, which is a type of non-Newtonian system. So before that, let us briefly discuss about types of systems. We can classify the materials according to their type of flow and deformation, and they can be categorized into two types, Newtonian systems and non-Newtonian systems. And majority of the pharmaceutical products are not simple liquids and they do not follow Newton's law of flow. And these systems are termed as non-Newtonian systems. And the non-Newtonian behavior is generally exhibited by liquids and solid heterogeneous dispersions such as colloidal solutions, emulsions, liquid suspensions and ointments. Coming to the types of flow, the types of flow is broadly of two categories, Newtonian flow, which follows Newton's law of flow, and non-Newtonian flow, which does not follow Newton's law of flow. The non-Newtonian flow is broadly categorized into three types, plastic, pseudoplastic, and dilatant. In the current session, we will be focusing on the dilatant flow. So what is dilatant flow? Certain suspensions with a high percentage of dispersed solids, they exhibit an increase in resistance to flow with increasing rates of shear. Here, in case of dilatant flow, as the rate of shear is increased, the resistance to flow or the viscosity is also increased. And such systems, they actually increase in volume when sheared, and hence the term dilatant. And this type of flow is inverse to that of the possessed by pseudoplastic systems. Dilatant flow is inverse to that possessed by pseudoplastic systems. The pseudoplastic materials are frequently referred to as shear thinning systems, whereas the dilatant materials are often termed as shear thickening systems. And whenever the stress is removed, a dilatant material returns to its original state of fluidity. Whenever the stress is removed, the dilatant material, it returns to its original state of fluidity. And the above equation which is used for pseudoplastic flow, that is F to the power of N is equals to viscosity equation into G, is also applicable or used to describe the dilatancy in quantitative terms. And in case of dilatant flow, N is always less than 1 and it decreases as the degree of dilatancy increases. In case of dilatant flow, the N is always less than 1 and it decreases as the degree of dilatancy increases. And as the N approaches 1, the system becomes increasingly Newtonian in behavior. So here is the rheogram of dilatant flow of rate of shear versus shearing stress. And the examples of substances containing dilatant flow are suspensions which contain high concentration, that is about 50% or greater, of small deflocculated particles tend to exhibit the dilatant flow. The suspensions containing high concentrations of small deflocculated particles, they tend to exhibit the dilatant flow. Coming to the mechanism of dilatant flow, usually at rest, the particles are closely packed with minimal interparticle volume or voids, and the amount of the vehicle in the suspension is sufficient to fill the voids and permit the particles to move relatively to one another at low rates of shear. And thus at rest, a dilatant suspensions can be poured from the bottle because under these conditions it is reasonably fluid. Whenever shearing stress is increased, the bulk of the system expands or dilates, and this results in a significant increase in the interparticle void volume. Whenever the shearing stress is increased, the interparticle void volume is increased, and the amount of the vehicle, as it remains constant, at some point it will be insufficient to fill the voids. Accordingly, the resistance to flow increases and eventually the suspension will set up as a firm paste. So, One more important point is the usage of high-speed mixtures which have high shearing stress, such as high-speed mixtures, blenders or mills during the processing of dilatant materials is not recommended because they may solidify under these conditions of high shear, thereby overloading and damaging the processing equipment. This is a precaution. By this, we complete the dilatant flow.